Hello, friends. We've just been together, and at let's see, our time, it will be 9:14 and 26 seconds. Um, I think that's the GMT time. I think so, and that will be the exact moment of the new moon. So, I generally keep this quite simple. Uh, and we have a lot of you here. I'm very happy to see you. I won't read through all the names of everybody that's here, but I just want to thank you for your presence and to thank Michael Crow and Tuya for uh, assisting uh, me to do this in the right way. So I'm going to begin with the meditation immediately, and we'll keep in mind the era of conferences, the cycle of conferences that we have been discussing for the last couple of hours um, in our monthly EUN meeting, and also um, uh, any kind of conferences that have been occurring and will occur in addition to the very important one in Glasgow. So this is, let's call this a kind of Shambhala moon. It is where a seed is planted, and if there is an eclipse, I'm not sure whether there is an eclipse right now. I don't think so, but maybe. Um, it's even more powerful. But when you deal with Scorpio, you have an opportunity to make the relinquishments, the sacrifices in your life, which will make a true stability and development in humanity possible. We just read about that only on the basis of sacrifice can true stability be achieved. Um, there are a number of things we could say about Shambhala, but we will say the most important things. There are great lives that live in the council or focus within the council. Here in front of us, I think you should see, I hope you see, the supernal 3 and the radiant 7 and the lives embodying the 49 fires and the Buddhas of activity and other eternal spirits. It is the powerhouse of the etheric, cosmic etheric physical plane, and we are trying to learn how to at least respond a little bit at this time, and hopefully at other practical times, to the will of God, our planetary logos. Generally speaking, to enter Shambhala, one has to be a Chohan and have undergone what DK describes as the ascension which the Christ demonstrated for us. And he even went farther to become uh, an ascended master with a focal point as the Buddha has on the logoic plane. There are a number of ways to look at Shambhala. In one respect, it exists in physical matter, and in another and higher respect, a more authentic respect, it exists within the cosmic ethers. So here we are with the new moon coming right up, and we realize in a meditative attitude that the earth functions as the base of the spine center for the solar logos, and is therefore a very kundalinic planet, and that a very strong line of will energy is available at this time, because the base of the spine represents will, and the top of the head, which we will consider at this time to be related to the solar logos, represents purpose. And the moon, that obstruction in space, is caught on that line of will energy and is undergoing disintegration until by the 7th round on the earth, probably, well, the 7th chain round, it will have disappeared and no longer block the developments on earth. So our first task, purify. And we visualize the white light sweeping through the physical body. This is for us as individuals, sweeping through our etheric body, sweeping through the astral body, helping to eliminate the glamours there found, sweeping through the lower mental body with all its many thoughts, helping to rid us of our illusions, our misinterpretations, and in fact, sweeping through the entire personality. What we are attempting to do is to live within the Christ consciousness, to fulfill the Virgo mantram, Christ in you, the hope of glory. And when we purify ourselves and our groups in this way, because whatever is done in relation to the individual can be done in relation to the group or the nation or the personality and soul nature of humanity. Um, then the Christ consciousness, which is so necessary in the Aquarian age, when he will appear among us for some 2,000 years, that will have a chance to be recognized. So we feel ourselves as much as possible in the presence of the soul, unobstructed by the usual obstructions of the personality. And we merge ourselves within the group soul, a deep sense of group soul. All of us gathered here and still more widely, but beginning here, are like one consciousness. We are like one being. And in the soul, this experience of the soul, we unite with the spiritually minded people of the world, the men and women of goodwill, and the members of the new group of world servers, who are even more the servants of hierarchy and are more elevated in their achievement and still more persistent than a man or woman of goodwill can yet be. And all of us together as one consciousness, if we can get the feeling of that, we can merge with the one soul of humanity. And realize there is no my soul or thy soul. He tells us, Rule 5, no longer use the thought, my soul and thine. And then, if we don't use that thought, then the second ray mantram, naught is but me, really begins to make sense for us. Our visualization of the Antakarana, having drawn soul powers into the pool of retained energies around the mental unit, allows us to ascend via a rapier-like beam of light in the general indigo color of the Antakarana. It's multicolored, but of course, when we work like this, the indigo has to be most prominent. So we sound the Om 3 times, projecting that beam of pure white light from the astral nature through the retained energies and towards the spiritual triad. And we are saying to ourselves inwardly, I see the greatest light. I see the greatest light. Now I always read this little description of Shambhala because we are treating this opportunity not only in its very practical nature in terms of helping with the externalization of at least some aspect of the divine plan, but we are treating it in a very high manner, as if we can begin to get some response from the will of God as it descends into our own sense of the purpose of our lives, as it descends into our ability to externalize the divine plan. So concentrate now carefully. Shamballa. It is a world of pure energy, of light, and of directed force. It can be seen as streams and rivers, streams and centers of force, all forming a pattern of consummate beauty, all potently invocative of the world of the soul and of the world of phenomena. It therefore constitutes, in a very real sense, the world of causes and of initiation. We have different worlds. The world of meaning, the world of significance, the world of being, the world of causation, the highest aspect of Shambhala, as it relates to the cosmic, etheric, physical plane. Now, we all know that we plant seeds at the new moon, and we watch the or nurture the germination of those seeds. So some realization comes to us at the time of the full moon. And we have made notes about the seeds that we wish to plant regarding various levels in which we are participating. What seed for your own individual life would you like to plant, assuming that it is under the guidance of will and purpose? And you might make a note of it somewhere. It may be the same one you planted last month, but that's fine, or something new. What is the seed that you wish to plant or see planted with regard to your group or groups? What is the seed that you wish to see planted in relation to your nation, and of course the emergence of its soul? And finally, what is the seed that you can imagine being planted in reference to humanity as a whole? Dealing, of course, with the purpose of humanity and under the aspect of the will to good. What seed for humanity as a whole? Maybe you've made notes of these plantings because they their progress will have to be evaluated, and the full moon is considered to be the full moon of consciousness, whereas the anchoring, the planting, occurs at the new moon. Now we imagine the group that we have gathered here, let's say, as a recipient of the energy of the divine purpose of Shambhala. This will mean that we will be increasingly living our life, this particular incarnation, under the impress of divine purpose. For a few moments, ponder when thinking of the new moon moment coming up. Think that the moon, as that obstruction in space, can be impressed by the powers of solar purpose, and that we on this planet can be impressed by divine purpose. Ponder, meditating along the line of the first ray, though expressed through love, wisdom, and intelligence, we ponder on the situations in the world, in the field of politics, religion, economics, which must be impressed and changed by divine purpose, working lovingly and intelligently through the divine plan. And what we're going to do is we have just a few moments until 9:14 and 26 seconds. So ponder along these lines. How this can ameliorate if we live under purpose and under the will to good, and away from the obstructions, how positive changes can take place. I'll sound the Om at the moment of the new moon. begin to live this way, under the will to good, under Shambhala as much as we can understand it, because even the hierarchy is seeking to understand it. We have to expect that drastic things will happen at first. And when the Lords of Liberation enter the picture, they have a saving power that has been exercised before, especially at the end of 1942 and the beginning of 1943, a time of great determination to see whether humanity would fail and have to be recommenced. So let us use the mantra, which focuses on these great lords, whose qualities are those of the air signs, as found in relation to the age of Aquarius. And of course, the great Lord, the modern Kalki avatar, the rider on the white horse, symbolically considered, which is, of course, the purified personality. He is considered in this mantra as well. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service, of the saving force, has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. Oh. We are under the guidance of the Christ. All of humanity really is, and especially the members of the new group of world servers. And from the Lords of Liberation, at this time in the Council of Shambhala, comes forth liberty, fraternity, and equality. And they are so needed. Liberty in the first decanate of Aquarius, which we are now entering with Uranus and Saturn playing their roles. Fraternity under Mercury in the second decanate of approximately 720 years, and equality finally under Libra, the true age of brotherhood, sisterhood, right relations achieved because of the teachings of the Christ and the Buddha, and of course the work of the Lords of Liberation, who work in a manner we may not say how, but they do their work. So friends, the new moon in Scorpio is with us. The opportunity to sacrifice, to be tested, to be put on trial, and to triumph from the Buddhic plane, whereon the hierarchy of human monads, the initiates, express themselves. And we will develop through this process strength I mean, through the process of struggle. When can we enter Scorpio without struggle? Struggle. Strength developed because of the struggle, and Sagittarian attitudes, which we will have a chance to think about, as we've been told that around December 14th or 15th, we have the entrance of Mars into Sagittarius. So this is humanity's moment, its modern moment. Maybe in ancient Atlantean days and Lemurian days there were great moments, but in terms of the modern era, this is it. And we must not bring humanity down through our negligence. There are enough changes going on, simply because of the initiatory program which is affecting our planet. Many changes, but humanity can worsen the impact and allow the elements to run out of control. Forest fires, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods. We don't want that kind of world, with the elements out of control. So ponder, friends, on your Scorpio opportunity. You have a chance to kneel, to demonstrate humility, just as on a higher turn of the spiral in Capricorn. And you can help lift humanity's Hydra into the pure air of Buddhic pure reason, the true realm of the true soul. It seems a long way off, it seems remote, but it is possible. And now, when we again sound the third great invocation, the invocation for power and light, released to humanity when the Christ made his decision to appear in person. Let us visualize the light, love, and power and human initiative of the New Age. This is different from the vexatious culture wars of the time, based on misunderstandings and on primitive instinctual telepathy. and also based on the, to us, unwelcome intervention of the Lodge of Darkness. But it must mean that we are getting close to achieving something when they are so intent on intervening and misleading humanity. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Tuya and I and the communications team want to thank you for being with us for this new moon meditation. And you know, we will be continuing with the vigil for the climate change conference. That's going to be a meditation which Tuya will lead. Dear, is there anything you want to say at this point? Okay. So please join us in support of this critical conference on climate change in Glasgow. And we can Esoterically, because we are at least students of esotericism, we can add something of value. We can give support. We can give confidence to those who seek to develop a better world. So, I want to thank also all members of the communications team for being here with us and helping to keep us on track. So for the moment then, we will sign off. Please check your schedules for tomorrow. Pretty much these days, our concentration is on the Glasgow conference. And yes, and love and many blessings to all. So what I'll do is stop the recording, and then Michael, who is the host, Mikhail, he can end the program. Sirius is a potent source of energy to Shambhala itself, we are told. It's very high, and Shambhala has to be involved in some measure in this conference because we are now talking about the fate of humanity. So, many blessings to you all, and I will turn the recording, I'll stop the recording.